G Stadium in Houston. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Houston Texans. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will not bring it out. He'll just go down to a knee here for a touchback, and the ball will come out to the 25. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Black 22!
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
It's hauled in by Ellington. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Eli Apple. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. What Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son, but they grew up watching Jets games. Just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-men. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Over the middle, he's got his tight end, Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram: 5 catches, 59 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And you remember pre-draft, there was a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed up.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. 4 catches, 51 yards.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on display.
Watson steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On second down, here's Miller. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. And that was just 4 verticals. They were going for a big play, and it resulted in a big play.
And you know why that's so difficult to cover? Because you can throw the ball to any one of those 4 vertical receivers at any point in the pattern. Wherever they're open, just get them the ball and then let them run after it.
And he runs it all the way in for a touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he spins free. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? On second down, here's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howell. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Watson. His throw incomplete. He was looking there for Bruce Ellington. And it's second down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Black 22! Black 22!
Throwing again on second and 10. Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
Down! Green!
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they went in to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down. Here's Watson. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. This from 36 yards out. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. New York set to take the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Forced out to his left. Finding some room at midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on error.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Fourth down, here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. Being chased out left. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all?
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack.
Down.
Here's a give to Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Dancing to his left, fighting to stay upright, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play. And they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance. Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Now it's Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, this first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. New York set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down, it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Green 39! Green 39! Check! Patriot! Leopard!
Now Jackson on 2nd down and incomplete.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
They go play action with Jackson. Steps away to his left. He may try to run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll run with Barkley. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Eli Apple was a top 10 pick in the 2016 draft, and one of the reasons, his ability to get better. Because remember, he's a young guy, and they just figured he could go ahead and grow. A redshirt sophomore when he came out, he's growing at a pretty good rate. How about that play right there?
Very nice pass deflection. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Kareem Martin with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now before the punt, some movement. And I think they may be kicking from further back.
Offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And now out come the Giants. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. On 2nd down, Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The former first-round pick, Kareem Jackson, there defensively. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
The Giants on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college. And our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 24. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They go play action now. Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And able to work his way down to the 16. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll try the air now with Watson. And they'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Jackson on first down. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. A handoff to Barkley. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That good for 19 and a first down.
Yeah, he was the first back taken in the draft. Ended up going number 2 to the Giants, and there was never a doubt that he would be the first runner off the board. We just saw why. His ability with the ball in his hands to turn a nice little game into something big. He makes plays no matter how you get him the ball.
J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's a give to Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's going to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And Ingram holds it in. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. And Rosas puts this one through. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Here's Shane Leckler now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Final score now from Atlanta. And the Falcons, they wind up winning that one. Matt Ryan, 2 touchdown passes in the W. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green.
Back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Barkley, and he's got some space here. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like,
try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. One last shot for Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home,
I got so much beef, I could barely sleep.